What's up, guys? So I wanted to do a quick informational video for our monthly that we're going to be doing and invite all of you to participate in what I'm going to coin as Discipline Bingo. Our whole month of December is going to be a solid umbrella subject of decide and conquer, just in time for the New Year's resolutions and practical, realistic, smart goal setting event that we will do later on this December, and I'll go over and share that with you as well. I did want to do a little bit more of a informational breakdown of what each of these 25 bingo card subjects look like and some examples of how to accomplish them. So starting out with our decide and conquer theme, number one, you know self-talk and affirmation is the most important thing. If you say it enough, you believe it. And so the number one thing on our list, we do have a checklist here, which will be a little bit easier to follow, as well as your bingo card. And then anyone who has access to this YouTube video, you can scroll in chapters and go through it. Number one is a mantra. There does happen to be this mantra set up twice on your bingo card. I do want you to repeat them twice. The mantra is discipline is a decision, right? It's a decision that we create and we make each day. So the mantra is discipline is a decision followed by action. I decide, I am in control, I am allowed to make mistakes, I have the power to overcome them, I am consistent, I am committed, it's what I do. Creating something by saying and following up with I am what I do sets a precedence for an association of who you are. That's our number one. As soon as you're able to say that mantra, you click it off the list and also put it onto your bingo card to keep track of them. Number two is delayed gratification. A delayed gratification, if you're not familiar with what that is avoiding temptation. It's essentially creating and having a small discomfort in order to achieve a much larger and greater goal. Some examples of this would be foregoing an impulse buy, saying no to eating a box of cookies, anything that for you is doing a small, tolerable level of discomfort to achieve a greater goal. Number three is making choices in advance. You know if you do not plan to succeed, you plan to fail. So creating something that you can do to succeed in whatever your goals are will be an accomplishment for number three. Now that can be something like, I created all my meals in advance that week so I didn't have to go home when I was tired and just throw in a pizza. Number four is removing that temptation. Now, something to note early on during this video is if you do one that actually applies to two or more boxes, you can go ahead and check them off. So for instance, number two and number four are very closely related. Number four is to remove the temptation. So getting junk food out of that house, blocking social media when you're ready to eat, getting your food ready to eat instead of going out if you're trying to save money. So removing the temptation completely is very similar to avoiding the temptation, and you could essentially check both of those off. Number five is what we don't do is just as important. So as you know, something that you do and you create all of these goals surrounding what it is that you want is important, but sometimes saying no to specific things, like no, I'm not going to watch another movie on Netflix or fall asleep in front of the TV. No, I'm not going to be watching or scrolling my phone at night because I need more sleep. Those things are just as important. So number five is doing something that you don't do that's just as important as what you do tend to focus on. Number six is consistent, small, positive habits for 7 days. So since this is just coming up, we do have, I believe there's 9 different boxes here that require you to pre-plan. So if you are doing a habit for longer than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you do have some that you need to plan for. And number 6 is our first one. You do need to have a small positive habit for 7 days. Write that start date and write the end date so that we know you've achieved it. A small habit could be making your bed every day in the morning. So for 7 consecutive days, you make your bed. Did that happen for 7 consecutive days? Yes, it did. No, it didn't. then you can go ahead and check it off if that was a yes for you. Number 7 is setting up a focus timer. Now, a focus timer is actually sort of like a stopwatch instead. Maybe is a better option or a word for that. If you're setting down to do a focused work, a lot of people, are getting ready. They're doing the hardcore work of whatever their day is in the morning, or some people do better at night. Let's say you're writing a book, okay? And from the time that it takes you to start writing that book until the time of which your first distraction occurs is your focus timer or your stopwatch. How long did that take? So the next time that you look forward towards a focused goal or task, I want you to get out your stopwatch, set your timer, and let it go. When is the first time you look at a text message? When is the first time that you start scrolling social media? When is the first time that your dog barks and you go let them outside and then you forget 7 hours later that you've not only watched all of the seasons of You on Netflix and played, air guitar for 10 minutes? When does that focus timer set for you? All right, so getting into the next 3, these are the pillars of success when it comes to health, fitness, success, and longevity in life. They are, as you probably guessed, diet, sleep, and exercise. If you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're not exercising regularly, you're fighting an uphill battle that is not about to be successful. So we do need numbers when it comes to these next one. All 3 of these next diet, exercise, and sleep specific targets on your bingo card are bolded because they're going to be a longer time frame of commitment for you. So number 8 is make a macro plan. If you don't know your macros, that's okay. I will absolutely help you with that. Macros are calories in a protein, fat, and carbohydrate macronutrient profile that equates and brings up all total into calories. You do need to track those for 7 days. It's not 7 consecutive days, it's just 7 days throughout the month. So everything that you're consuming and everything that you're eating, including liquids, do need to be tracked, okay? And you're really going for getting those specific numbers to the T in your carbs, fats, and proteins, okay? Number 9 is a sleep minimum. If you're able to sleep more than 9 hours, great, but our minimum is 7 hours. So you're really creating a plan to obtain that 7-hour minimum of sleep at least 7 days throughout the month. And you write those down. Your checklist has that as well. Did you obtain it? Were you able to go through a minimum of 7 hours of sleep? If the answer is yes, you check it off and you can go ahead and put that down on your box. Number 10 is an exercise minimum. So as just a general sense of exercise for a minimum, they say is 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous heart rate obtained zone activity per week. Some people can do more than that, some people can do less than that. If you don't know your heart rate training zones and you're curious, I'd absolutely be able to help you with that. But for the sake of just knowing whether or not you hit that, we are going to have you do the 150 minutes in 1 week time frame. So you have 4 weeks in December to be able to do that. Actually, I think it's a cumulative of 5, but 7 days to be able to hit the 150 minutes of exercise minimum in a week. Okay, so off of the diet, exercise, and nutrition portion, we're actually going to go back to some of the mental and mindset aspects of the discipline, which brings us to 11. So 11 is challenge your own excuses. This is going to be a challenge in and of itself. I want you to create a scenic route like you are a college debate team and challenge your own excuses. So find one excuse, one comfortable thing that you tell yourself that you avoid doing, or you just, you've created a surrounding comfort around that. And I want you to challenge it. I want you to tell yourself why you can accomplish that instead of all the reasons why you cannot. So for the future of your success, not only in health, wellness, but also this discipline versus motivation, and our surrounding decide and conquer will depend on that, is for you to really take yourself out of your comfort zone and bust through those, finding loopholes about your own excuses. Number 12 is I want you to screw up, right? We all screw up and it happens, and it's something that I think we don't accept fast enough to bounce back from. So make a mistake, right? Make a mistake, learn from it. Perfection doesn't happen, it doesn't exist. And if you make a mistake, how quickly can you adjust? That's part of discipline, is to keep that in the sole center focus of what you're doing and say, okay, I screwed up, it happens, I'm not going to do it again. Or maybe I learned from that thing that I did that I shouldn't have, that was not working towards my goals. So that's number 12, is to screw up. 13, eat the frog. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this quote. It's from Mark Twain, and it's essentially about doing the hardest task first. Get it done with. Get it over with. First thing in the morning, do the scariest, hardest, worst tasks mentally that you have in the morning so that the rest of the day is gravy. And that is number 13. Number 14, this is going to be kind of challenging, I think, for a lot of people. You can only do one. Do one push-up. It's the initial part in the mindset of getting down onto the floor and creating that task and doing just one push-up. But after you do one, take a second to realize and to see if there isn't momentum created, right? If you don't create momentum, the second that you get down on the floor to do one push-up, well, you just did one. Why not do two? Why not do three? That's part of the discipline too. So just doing one push-up is number 14. Knowing that even though something sounds scary, if you've started momentum, it's not that bad. So number 15, you're gonna do one thing to create a supportive environment for yourself. So when you do create a supportive environment, this could be an example of throwing out trash food that's in your pantry, right? Or you can start putting up sticky notes of the self-affirmation. Number 1 for our mantra, you could put that up on your refrigerator and you can say it every single day. Even if you say it once, your number 15 will be satisfied. You can, buy a yoga mat and find somebody to drink 32 ounces of water that you're accountable to. Any of those are creating supportive environments for you to achieve your goals. Number 17, find a time within your day, and this is gonna take some doing. Maybe you already have it, maybe you're coming to classes with me, or maybe you're coaching with somebody else. Find a time to punch the clock on your workouts. So if you're looking at your calendar, and if you don't have a calendar, you need one, right? If you're looking at your calendar and you don't have the same time frame, or you can't create the same time frame every single day to work out, fine, not a problem. Make time for it. Physically block that out as a time for you to work out and focus on your goals. This one is a bold bingo section, and we are asking for 10 days in a row in order for this one to be achieved. So pretty challenging. Now, the workout duration, I don't care. It could be 10 minutes, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 2 push-ups. But it is something as a goal satisfied by a 10 day in a row consecutively. All right, catch yourself cheating is number 18. So we all know that it happens. This is kind of along the lines of make a mistake, but making a mistake is one that you recognize. Catching yourself cheating may be a little bit more challenging. So this one, if you do have a goal, or you write your goals, or you know your goals, and if you don't, let's find yourself in that. But catching yourself cheating, how quickly do you bounce back from that and trust the process? This is the recovery point of making a mistake. So if you make a mistake, okay, we check the box. If you catch yourself cheating, let's say you do it again, okay, then we're able to stop that habit and we're able to create something new around it. So that's number 18. I realize that that could be a lot of different things. So if you're not quite sure whether or not you've able to satisfy that, just let me know. We're getting to the near end here. Number 19 is never miss twice. So this goes along the lines of your diet, your fitness, your mental discipline, your accountability to yourself, your appointments, anything that you have, never miss twice. If you miss something once, let's say you slept in because you didn't want to go to your 5 a.m. workout class. Let's say that you went and you splurged crazy for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is over, but it's a great example. We wouldn't do that again, right? We wouldn't overlap and create this sort of surrounding momentum that just brings us into a pitfall of bad habits. So if you find yourself making that mistake, make sure that it doesn't happen twice. And if you're able to recognize that, then that is part of it for 19. So number 20 is number 1 again. And I want you to repeat this mantra. I want you to live it for this December, decide and conquer. I'm gonna say it again with you. Discipline is a decision followed by action. I decide, I am in control. I am allowed to make mistakes. I have the power to overcome them. I am consistent. I am committed. It's what I do. So that one you'll be saying twice. We do have 5 other pieces of this card on here that are bolded, and a few of them are events, so I'm going to read those really quickly, and then we'll put chapter aspects in this video for YouTube. So what this is going to look like is we do have a book club, and if you read it's a book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sicario. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, so sorry if that's not there and you've already read it, but that's part of the bold. The other one is we do have a coffee with coach or coach call and a goal setting and assessment day, which will be coming up on the 16th at 6:30 p.m. for the goals, and then at 5:30 for that class prior, we will be doing assessments for clients. There is a cost for the goal setting because it's an event. It's $25. So anybody who would like to be in that goal setting time frame or mindset on the 16th at 6:30, please come and join us. That's going to be a really awesome one. We're going to focus on SMART goals and creating some really successful, realistic things for your January upcoming. There is also a box on here to schedule an assessment sometime between the 13th and the 30th for your personal goals and habits. We'll be doing a Ho MPO. It's 12 days of fitness, which is a awesome list-based style for sort of like our 2-week challenge, but it's festive and it's fun. And then, yeah, there is, I think I covered them all. So those are all upcoming. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am so excited to decide and conquer with you this December. And let's play Discipline Bingo. One other thing that I forgot to mention really quick, for anybody who is able to do the first to bold, so that includes the full T of this sheet, which you will have via PDF, and you can screenshot it on Instagram, and I'll also put it up as a document in an email. The first one to get that is they'll get the first pick for our white elephant gift for Christmas. And then if you do first to blackout, you get the whole sheet done. You actually are going to get a full free month in January of our app coaching, which will include video breakdowns of the MPOs, the 2-week challenges, and 2 nutrition coaching videos. Our umbrella platform and focus point for January is nutrition. So that's upcoming, so definitely try to focus on doing some of these bingo ones, and I cannot wait to join you.